Just become aware of the things that are keeping you from getting there, and then shut them off. Hello my darlings, welcome back. I'm Diana if you are new here, and let's get into today's topic. But before we do, don't forget to subscribe, because if you have not yet subscribed, what are we waiting for? It's almost 2026. Let's get some more subscriptions. That will be wonderful. I appreciate you if you've already subscribed. So yeah, let's continue. And today's quote states, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." Peter Drucker. I think I said his name right. I hope. But yeah, the best way to predict the future is to create it. You want that? So become that. Get there. Right, basically, right? Create what you want to see in the future. Let's talk about our femininity journey. Let's say you want to be that girl who is pursued, who is chased, who is sought after, who gets everything she wants, or most of everything that she wants, right? You want to be that girl. Well, the future you wants to be there too, okay? But you find yourself just not knowing how to navigate that, not knowing how to just get to that future self, that version of you. Well, you've got to create that version of you to be able to be that girl, right? You have to become that girl. You are becoming her by embodying the traits that make you that girl, which means you're going to have to desire to be in your femininity, and that requires you to be practicing it on a daily. Being able to tap into your femininity is something that a lot of us have lost as women, because we're so busy trying to grind, so busy trying to get things done, so busy trying to rule the world or rule people or rule whatever, you know, or we're forgetting to fall back and enjoy life, to fall back and receive, to fall back and be directed instead of being the director. So if you want to get into that position where, oh, a man sees you and he's going after you, yes, you want to be that girl who exudes that feminine side of her, where it's like, okay, she looks so lovely, she's happy, she's joyful, she's at peace, and she's not barky, she's not demanding in a negative way, she's not bossy. All those things that create that masculine energy in you, you tone those down. And so to become that girl, you're going to have to literally on a daily basis practice that, to embody that. One of the things I used to remember when I was much younger, I had this attitude. I had a crazy attitude, and that attitude brought my tone to a negative level, and I hated it. I hated it with a passion. Hated it with a passion. I longed to be the kindest woman ever, or at least just kind, just to be a sweet girl, because I knew that being sweet is attractive. But I had a hard time being sweet because I was so in my head. I wanted to boss what was around me. I just wanted to demand I don't even know what happened, why that version of me came out, but that's what I became, and that's what I was embodying daily. But I hated it, and I wanted to be sweet, and I couldn't understand why I could not become sweet. I'm like, the future version of me needs to be sweet, needs to be kind, needs to be nice. At least be nice. And I had a hard time. I had a hard time getting to that future version of me. And it wasn't until I realized that you can't just say it or just hope it or just wish it. You have to practice becoming that person in order to become that person. So I had to practice, and it was harder for me because I was so set in my ways. I was so set, and I'm not the absolute kindest person. I'm still a work of art, but I've learned that I have to practice, and I have to try, and I have to physically, emotionally, mentally be that way, put on that version of me in order to be that way. So when a situation comes, I have to choose, would I rather be the way that I used to be, or do I want to live this future version of me? So I have to create this version of me by actually embodying it on a daily basis, or at least for the most part, because we can get triggered, right? We can get triggered and revert back, but being aware of what caused that trigger can kind of bring you back. So with you as well, if you find yourself struggling to just embody that, just become aware of the things that are keeping you from getting there and then shut them off. Just don't do it. Don't be that way. Don't be that girl that is just walking around in, I don't know, dirty clothes, right? Because you want to attract, you want to be a magnetic woman. You have to actually practice to embody that person and to be that person, because it's in you. We're all feminine. Well, we all have feminine essence in us, but based on how we were raised or what circumstances came our way, we kind of push that to the bottom, and that takes it away from us. And so as women, we want to just make sure we kind of hold that back, because that is attractive, especially if you want to be pursued by a man. Then yes, you've got to get into your femininity. You want to be that soft girl, but you have to actually practice it. And that's the thing that I think a lot of the videos are not probably telling you. If you've watched a lot of those videos, those are some of the things that no one's telling you. To practice it, because you don't know how to be if you've never seen that. You don't know how to behave if you don't know how to become aware of the negative ways that you've been behaving. So practicing the version of you that you want to become allows you to become that person. If you want to be a sweet person, you have to be sweet. If you want to use sweet words with your love, right? You want to use sweet words like honey and baby and sweetie. And I think a lot of women are actually pretty good at this, but perhaps you're not the kind who is. Then you have to actually start saying it to everyone, because it becomes natural and becomes more you. If that is the you that you want, if that is the you that you find to be the future version of you that you want to see, right? Because if you want to predict that future version of you, or the future, you have to create that so that it can become a reality for you. So that it's not 5 years from now and you're like, dang it, I was supposed to be a sweet girl, I was supposed to be a fun girl, I was supposed to be in a relationship, and I'm not. And it's because you did not embody what could get you there. You did not create the version of you that would get you to the future that you want to see. So the best way to predict the future is to create it. Create the version of you that you want to see in the future. If you want to improve in some other area of your life, let's say it's reading, becoming a better reader, or reading more, or learning more about the world or about different cultures, and that's the version of you you want to see in the future, then you're going to have to start creating that version of you. Start reading those books. Start traveling. And if you don't want to travel overseas, you could travel within your country, within your state, within your city. There's so much in our surroundings without having to go too far that we could learn from so many people, from so much of our surroundings, from everything around us. So yes, your future is waiting for you to be created, because if you don't create it, someone else could create it for you, or it could just not go the way that you want it to go. But if the future that you want is specific, then you're going to have to create it, or create ways in which that future becomes more tangible for you. Does that make sense? Alright, if you've made it to this part of the video, go ahead and give a star emoji. There is a star, it's gold, and it's It's a star with like little extra tiny stars around it. It's a fun emoji, but it's giving you that, okay, I can create my future. I can make my future happen. I don't have to wonder if it's going to be that way. I don't have to wonder if I'm going to be rich. I don't have to wonder if I'm going to be healthy. I don't have to wonder if I'm going to be happy. I create those things in my life so that they can become, so that they are. You work, you save, you invest, you work on yourself, you exercise, you eat well, you practice internal things and internal ways of being so that it becomes a part of who you are. You're creating this future that you want to see. So become it, create it, find ways to make it happen so that it is the future that you want. Alright, my loves, that's it for today's video. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you learned something in today's video. If you did, let me know in the comments if there was something you were reminded of. I would love to hear that. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.